Morning, it's early, and I've got old folks sausage. We're making my wife's favorite. It's a scramble, and so we're gonna get started with about a half pound of sausage. Is what I usually start off with. Get this little electric skillet going. Cool thing, I got this electric skillet plugged into this circuit, and this circuit runs out to the solar panels. So it's actually solar powered breakfast this morning. Go ahead and pause it. We'll get this sausage going.
Yes.
So I stab it like that to get it kind of, well, so it'll fall into smaller pieces easier for our scramble here. And then I let that sit. And then I come over here and bump my toe on the stool. And then the nice thing about onions, and it's funny because you'll see people like at the store put the onions in a bag. They come with their own wrapper, people. So most of you are probably aware of that. Ooh, where's my favorite knife? Favorite knife, where are you? Because it's dramatic. Like super dramatic. Anyway, the next thing I want to get started are my onions. See, you just take that wrapper right off. And this is the delicate operation here. Go ahead and pause it while I get this off.
Go.
Oh, so you can see I've won my battle against the wrapper. And then what I like to do is I do like a cross cut on the onion. And my wife really likes onions. This is her favorite breakfast, so she gets what she wants, right, camera lady?
That's right.
So I go that cross cut pattern. And then what we'll have is really well diced onions. Got a half an onion there, diced up, pretty good. A couple of them stuck together. All right, well, I've got that ready. While we're still waiting for our sausage. Ooh, let's flip our sausage. Looks good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I literally just had my potatoes right here, and the camera lady, in her incessant cleaning mode, moved. Where did you put the potatoes? Goodness. The camera lady's laughing because she knows it's true. Now, I like using red potatoes the best, but, I mean, any
Those
kind
are
of
the red
potato
ones.
works. I know, that's what I'm telling you.
Well, we had the brown ones up earlier.
I'm telling all of our millions of viewers, or twos of viewers, that that I like red potatoes. Oh man, and you know what? I started some from the eyes in our garden this spring, and lo and behold, they got overrun by weeds because I wasn't weeding. I usually give my potatoes just a little quick rinse. I don't get all obsessive compulsive about cleaning. The camera lady's reluctant to show anything other than this because she's ashamed of her messy kitchen, but I keep reminding her that most people's kitchens are kind of messy. Now you can do whatever you want with your potatoes, but for my wife's scramble that I have perfected over how many years?
A while.
A while
What,
is a number of years.
5 years?
5 years? Okay, at least, right? She likes them diced. At least that small. And you can, of course, go smaller. My kid's favorite is when I make chips. And when I make chips, they're about 3/16 or a quarter of an inch thick, and I like to fry them on bacon grease.
Mm.
What do you think, Camilla? Those are good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you like to do with yours?
Add cheese.
Of course. What kind of cheese?
Velveeta. Crumbles.
Velveeta shreds. You know, they call them shreds or
Shreds
crumbles?
or crumbles.
Anyway, I'm going to finish chopping these up, and then we'll throw them on the griddle when they're ready.
Okay.
So, just chopping my sausage up into little bits. And I did, if you noticed in the, I don't know if it shows up that well on the camera, this is getting to be a quite old griddle, and a lot of the non-stick, Teflon, whatever it is not performing so well. We'll probably be replacing this soon. So I did have a good amount of extra virgin olive oil down just to help it cook and to keep it from sticking. So still got that going over here. You can see over here I've got most of my potatoes chopped up. I've got my onions done, but I've got some grill space that I can share, so I can throw my sausage over to one side. Some of my sausage flavors over here with a little bit of oil already. Make sure I got enough oil for my onions and my potatoes. And we like our onions a little extra done. So we can throw our onions over here and get them going first. The next thing I'm going to do is take the sausage completely out of the equation so that I can do my potatoes with my onions. Then once that's done, I'll take that off. I'll put my scrambled eggs on, scramble those up. Then I'll reintroduce everything.
Your bell pepper and tomatoes?
Those get put on last, right? We don't want to overcook our veggies. Maybe some green olives or black olives, and then we'll season. Go ahead and pause it. So demanding of my camera, he says, "Come on back." She's like, "I'm coming." So what I do is I take my sausage off. You'll notice it's not really well browned because I'm going to be putting it back on the griddle later. So I don't want to overcook it, although I do really like my sausage well done. But if I get a little bit of cross-contamination here with some onion, that's fine. But I want to leave most of the onion down. And now I'm ready to set this out of the way, and I can start putting on some potatoes. And I love, get that camera close, you can hear the sizzle. I love a little bit of sizzle in the morning. So we usually run about a half pound of sausage, a half an onion, probably 2 medium red potatoes. The onion is a red onion too. Supposedly that's one of the healthier varieties. Same with the potato. The more color you got in any of these, any of your vegetables, usually the healthier they are. So anyway, I'll probably do another half a potato at least. So we've still got our potatoes and onions over there. It hasn't been long at all. Come on back over here. We're going to go ahead and get some of our color for once that's all done and our scrambled eggs are done. We like to throw on our color. So we got some green from our green pepper here. Look, any of these that you don't like, exclude it, and it still tastes really good.
Or you can add to it.
Or add to it. And it tastes really good. The seeds, I'm not OCD about getting rid of the seeds. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's healthy. I like actually eating the inner part of the green pepper too. It kind of has this like foaming, like hydrogen peroxide effect in your mouth.
Oh, yay, that sounds yummy.
It sounds terrible, but it's actually kind of pleasant. I like it. Not everybody.
Because you're a weirdo.
I am a weirdo. Well, you're the one that was just calling your dog a prancer and a dancer.
Well, he's prancing and dancing because he thinks he's going to get a snack.
Well, I guarantee you our dog will not be getting any of this scramble. This scramble goes fast in this household. Anyway, you can tell by my dicing skills I am not a professional at all. Not remotely close. But I'm just cutting this stuff up, and it's fun to watch sometimes, I guess, maybe. Or you can fast forward through it. Probably be a lot better if I just shut up and cut, right?
No comment from the gallery.
She seriously just rolled her eyes at me like, yeah, that might be a good idea. I have had commenters before on other videos say, you talk too much. Straight up, like, you talk too much. I couldn't say anything except, yep, that's about right. Maybe leave a couple of them bigger for you. Mm-hmm. You like that? Anyway, these will get thrown on late. I'll open up these cans, some black and green olives, and then the last thing that goes on, we'll see, is the Velveeta shreds. So we've got some good color on the potatoes. I'll probably flip those 1 or 2 more times. The onions look good. Go ahead, and we've got that prepped. We're going to go ahead and prep our eggs. For this, I use 6 medium, or what is these, large eggs?
Medium, yeah, large.
Listen to my English skills. What is these? Really? These are large eggs.
At least that's what the container says.
Yeah, I mean, they call it shrinkflation for a reason. I guess the chickens are they're shrinking their size too, still charging the same or more, right? Yeah, well, whatever. The sausage at our local grocery, I noticed I'd never seen it before, so I bought it because it was cheaper, in bulk. 2-pound sausage instead of just a 1-pound sausage. So I definitely saved a little money there. Like 50 cents overall versus buying 2 individual pounds. So I got my 6 eggs in there, and I'm just gonna put a little. What would the cooker people, the cooks, the professionals, like a dash? What do you? It's not a dash of milk. What is it? Just
A spritz.
There you go. A spritz of milk. Yes. And then I'll go ahead and whisk those up, and they'll be ready to go on when we're ready. Now we also.
I need to get some more of that.
We do. Yeah. We got some garlic powder that we like to throw on. I like to throw on oregano. I'm a big fan of oregano and eggs and stuff like that. And then we've got our salts. So we've got new salt. This is a potassium chloride, and then we have our regular sodium chloride table salt. And of course, you got your black pepper. So we'll be right back. Oh, we're already going. All right, girls, out. So we're still waiting on our potatoes. The potatoes take the longest of all the stuff. What was I thinking? I was thinking of something, and then we got distracted. One of the best parts, of course, preparing breakfast is you're nibbling on some of the tidbits while you're waiting. Go ahead. I've also tried this different ways. So take for what it's worth. Doing the ingredients separately, cooking them separately, pulling them out to do the next thing, or maybe if you have multiple griddles or something, keeping them separate till the end does, I think, what do you think, Kimberly, taste better?
I don't know.
You don't know? So I've done in the past where I've done potatoes and I just crack the eggs right into it, or the sausage and then crack the stuff right into it. It really does keep the flavors separate if you do it separate, and then introduce it, mix it at the end. Even though it's all together, it'll still have a more distinct flavor. What's the word? I'm not a chef. Flavor mix. So another thing I like to do is take about a third or a half of the potatoes and all of the onions out, because the onions been on there the longest. Keep them a little less cooked, and then the rest of them I'll go a little bit more crispy, so you have a mix in your scramble of less and more cooked potatoes. It really adds to the texture.
Mom.
Mama's busy being a camera lady. What do you need? The camera lady's looking the other way and still managing to keep the camera on target. So once you get your potatoes to the level of crispiness that you prefer, go ahead and remove the rest of those, because we need the griddle for what, Mama?
The eggs.
For the eggs. So we've got those whipped up and ready to go to it's always the last two, isn't it? Last 2 or 3. There we go. All right, so I got those out of the way. Make sure my griddle's nice and hot. Not so fast it just runs down the little drain hole. But I'm just going to scramble these up. Go ahead and pause it. So, I like with my scrambled eggs to, especially with a pan that's not so non-stick anymore, when it's got that nice greasy film on there from the oil, I'll put it on and then I'll just fold in the sides, and then it'll cook the inside the rest of the way through, a little bit slower because the heating elements are on the outside. So I'll let that cook for a little while. I love that brown. Look at that browning on that egg, Mama. Isn't that nice? So I'll just chop it up. That'll be the scramble part of it, or the scrambled egg part of it. And then I'm going to disperse it. I'm going to sprinkle each ingredient over the top, all of our different ingredients. And one of the nice things about doing it this way, instead of mixing it as you go, is that you can end up with quadrants for different people in your family. Because if you've got a big family and not everybody likes everything on it, you can have this corner be for wee one number one, this one wee one number two, etc. So that makes it a lot easier to do. But here I'm gonna have the camera lady pause it probably just one or two more times as we dress it up and put stuff on it, and that'll be the show. So I'm just finishing up chopping my egg. It kind of looked like a giant omelet, honestly. And I'm making sure that any parts that don't look like they're done all the way through are kind of facing down. See that piece right there? But not to worry, they're going to be slow cooking anyway. So again, it's a case where you actually don't want to cook it fully through, because everything's got to get reheated, remember. I got to reintroduce all the other ingredients. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread my scrambled eggs out. I'm going to turn my temp down now to a low medium, and I'm going to start to introduce my other ingredients back. And I just want to evenly distribute my sausage on here so everybody gets a good amount of sausage. And then I get my potatoes. Highly scientific method here, right, camera lady?
Yes, very.
Remember, some of these were more cooked and some less cooked, so you want to make sure that as you're putting them back on, you're kind of mixing it up. And then I can do this with a spatula when it's hotter, but right now it's not hot because I just put this stuff back on. I'm just going to kind of level it off, and I don't want to use the word mush it, but yeah, mush it back down so
press it.
Yes, that sounds much better. Sounds much better. Put it back down so the heat will go through it, and now I can come and get my little cutting board here with all of our greenery, our pretty stuff. And I think we all kind of like a little bit of everything, which is convenient. And if they don't like something, they can pick it out, because that's what kids do, right? They pick, oh, I lost a little piece of green pepper. That's okay.
The dog saw it.
I don't think the dog wants it, though.
Oh, he's
coming in the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen, dog.
Lay down. Go night-night.
This is 9-9. We just got up.
Not for another
So
hour.
we got some tomatoes. We got some green peppers. Here we've got just a few. We're going to have to clean the floor up. Got a few green olives. A few black olives. I feel like the lighting's not very good over here.
Well, it's doomy and gloomy outside.
Yeah. Alright, so we got that on there. Now I'm going to turn the heat back up just a little. We're going to let all this warm up. And once it's warm enough to melt the cheese, we'll put the cheese on. Ooh, before I do that, we also need our garlic powder and our oregano. What's going on with the power?
I don't know.
Apparently we're having some electrical issues. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to go investigate. But I'm going to get my...
This is just the regular wiring.
I have no idea. We're about to investigate. Get my pepper on, my salt. Cool thing is, again, we're running on the solar battery bank for our cooking purposes.
Well, we have that going too.
So as long as, oh, see? Uh-huh. That's right. Let's pause. Oop. We don't want too many things going on that solar bank. Is that what you think it was?
Maybe.
You put too much, you overloaded the circuit. All right. I mean, I watched you do it, but I wasn't paying attention.
Neither was I.
Because I'm worrying about cooking here. All right, that looks pretty good, don't it? So we're going to let that cook. Steam rising off up there. Well, I hope you can, the camera. And this is the camera lady's favorite part. The application. The delicate, artistic application of Velveeta shreds. Or, yeah, shreds, not crumbles.
Well, they did used to sell crumbles.
Huh?
They used
Are
to.
crumbles a thing, too?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to do most of this with the Velveeta shreds. But I personally prefer,
The weird stuff.
no, the best cheese ever, which is mozzarella. Mozzarella!
On eggs.
Yeah, it's delicious. So I'm going to get that. Here we go. Oh, yeah. And the cheese kind of helps to bind each piece together, too, once you cut it into pieces. Individual serving sizes. It'll help with that. So now the timer is set. Basically, you just wait until all the cheese is melted on top. And if I know my camera lady, she'll probably be putting extra cheese on hers once she puts it on her plate.
Yes.
So we're going to pause it now. And the last thing you'll see is one plated portion. Go ahead and watch the cheese melt, though, camera lady.
Just like watching grass grow.
It's the best thing ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we've got all our cheese melted in beautifully. Man, that looks good, don't you think, camera lady? You look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna cut a little section off here, just the size of my spatula, which is just perfect for a little lady, perhaps. There you go. Beautiful. And then, you know, maybe for the littlest of ladies, we might not trust with a good plate. You've got the fancy paper plate right there. Oh, that looks just divine. Have a good one.